Alright, Thomas Remains Adventures time. So, today's episode, is the very first episode about the narrow gauge engines. That should be good. Yeah, so, basically we're introducing, like, a new, like, engine to, like, the crew of, like, the narrow gauge engines. There's been, like, a lot of, like, Thomas and Friends series on, like, people's channels where, like, they add, like, new narrow gauge member or, like, a thing to, like, a certain specific type of, like, engines, like the Arzale engines, the diesels and the steamies and the narrow gauge engines specifically. So I thought I'd do that. So, alright, this episode is called a Scaredy Cat, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's get into the video. The narrow gauge engines work very hard on the Scaredy Railway. Sometimes there's just too much work for all of the engines to handle. In October, that very occurrence happened, and Mr. Percival was forced to buy a new engine. The engine was supposed to arrive later that night, and by sheer coincidence, Rusty thought it was a good idea to tell a scary story to the other engines. Are you gonna tell the story? Tell the story of that ghost engine that fell off the bridge? Said Peter Sam. I don't think so, said Rusty. I'm gonna tell a different story. How come? Said Sir Handel. Well, apparently the director of the show thought that the story was not suitable for young children, and that doesn't contribute to the plot to the episode, said Rusty. Wow, said Renes. Our director kind of sucks. Oh my god, said I with you, but then immediately got struck down by my lightning powers. Anyway, continued Rusty, this story starts back many years ago when this one engine was heading to like a Halloween party. He had pumpkins placed all over his buffer beams. To get to the party, he had to travel around like a mountain to get to the other side because it was like curved and then sadly he didn't make it to the end as he derailed and plummeted down many feet until he reached the bottom, where he became nothing but scrap. As for his driving fireman, I actually have no idea. The engines remained silent until Mr. Percival showed up. Engines, I know you're all really tired from the amount of work today that we had to do today, but there are still a few more jobs I need some of you to do. Sir Handel, I need you to pick up some passengers and take them to the mainline junction where Henry will take them home. And I will Hugh, when you finally recover from that lightning bolt that our director struck you down with, I need you to take these trucks that are full of coal and fill up all of the coal depots on the railway. Duncan looked happy. Yes, finally, I don't have to work anymore today, he whispered to himself. Oh yeah, and you too, Duncan, Mr. Percival added. What? Yelled Duncan. Alright, Sir Handel was waiting for Henry to arrive so his passengers can get on Henry's train and get home. He was looking around, saw an engine covered in white and had glowing pumpkins on their buffer beams. All he did was stare at the engine, not thinking much of it. But as the engine left Sir Handel's view of sight, it let out a loud whistle, which nearly made Sir Handel pass out. Somehow. He was waiting for the workman to unload the coal from his trucks when he saw a mysterious engine moving towards him. He tried to maneuver backwards, but his driver had already put the automatic brakes onto him before unloading the coal. All Hugh could do was just shiver and watch as the mysterious engine moved past him and let out a loud, shivering whistle. Duncan was still at the sheds waiting for his rail cars carrying wood to arrive, because that was his job. All the other engines were asleep in the sheds. Just then, he heard chuffing from an engine. He looked up to see if it was Hugh or Handel were returning from their jobs, but all he could see was a white-covered engine with pumpkins on his buffer beams. I ain't scared of no ghosts, he said as he pushed the brake van for his train at the engine. Ow! The engine yelped. All the engines immediately woke up after Duncan pushed the brake van. What'd you do this time, Duncan? Peter Sam said. I saw a ghost engine, Duncan said. I was trying to make it go away. The engine Duncan hit spoke up. Ghost engine, she said. The engines looked at her and saw that she was really a red engine. At that same time, Sir Handel and I were to Hugh return and saw that ghost engine was actually the new engine. The engine laughed. I'm not a ghost engine, she said. Sir Handel then said, well, then why were you covered in white? Oh yeah, some idiot left their car full of lime powder on the line of track and I crashed into it. Well then what about the pumpkins? Said I with Hugh. I also ran into a pumpkin cart on the way here. Just then, Mr. Percival showed up. Engines, I'm terribly sorry for new engine spooked you, or whatever. I would like you all to meet our new engine, Catherine, or Cat for short. Same title. Don't worry, everyone, Cat said. I promise I won't scare you guys anymore, she said as the engines laughed. Boo! How's that for a jump scare? Alright, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out Puzzle's Trouble. The link is in the description. And yeah, share it with your friends. And do all that stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.